Watchbox, and welcome to the world of Grand Seiko. Today, I'm going to guide you through the usage and the care of your Grand Seiko SBGA384. Now, this is an automatic winding timepiece. By virtue of the case-back winding mass, it uses the kinetic action of your wrist to energize the mainspring of the spring drive caliber. However, you can manually wind the watch should it begin to run down or stop altogether, and you do this by taking the crown in its first position flush to the case, and you turn in a clockwise direction. The power reserve indicator on the dial side will give you a sense of where the watch is, but keep in mind that you cannot accidentally overwind the watch because it uses a bridle style mainspring that disengages to relieve excess strain. So when winding the watch manually, simply turn until the power reserve reaches the end of its travel. And your watch will be energized to run for approximately 3 days or 72 hours. Now, you can use a subsidiary setting function to set both the time and the date. The watch has stop seconds and a quick set date both. The best way to set your watch is to first roll through a date change so you know where you are. There's no way to distinguish AM and PM until you have positively identified midnight. So that's midnight right now. So I'm going to adjust the watch out of the danger zone. I don't want to ever use the quick set to set my date between the hours of 8 p.m. and 3 a.m. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to set my time. Once I've rolled the date once, I'm going to set my time, and let's wait for that seconds hand to reach the index at 12, because this is essential if you wish to synchronize to the second for optimal accuracy. Okay, now I stopped the seconds hand directly at 12. I'm going to look up an online atomic clock that is accurate to my time zone, and let's say where I am, it is 5:30 in the morning. So I'm actually going to advance my hand so that the hour is the same, but the minute hand is 1 minute ahead. And so I'm going to line that up so it reads 5:31. At most, I'll be 60 seconds ahead of my reference time. Now I'm going to wait for my reference time, that online atomic clock set to my time zone. As soon as it catches up to the time I've set, hour, minute, and seconds are all the same. I push that crown back in. The watch continues to advance, keep time. I've synchronized my reference time. I have set this watch to the second. Now there is an intermediate position. The position I showed you just now, that was the crown all the way out to stop the seconds. There's this intermediate position where the watch continues to run, but I can set the date simply by turning the crown in a counterclockwise direction. This is the quick set date, so you can rapidly cycle and correct the watch should it run down or encounter an irregular length month. Once again, never use this feature if the watch is set to a time between 8 p.m. and 3 a.m., as this may coincide with the period during which the watch is automatically jumping its date, and overlapping the quick set and the automatic date jumper can crash the movement and cause damage. So just take care, never between 8 p.m. and 3 a.m. Push that crown back in. Now, areas of handling restriction and caution. There are three: water, magnetism, and shock. Water is a great danger because it poses both mechanical and cosmetic threats to your timepiece. This watch, per the caseback, and this is always written on the caseback of a Grand Seiko product, but this watch is water resistant to 100 meters, which is sufficient for aquatic activity. You can swim with this watch. Not sufficient for high board diving or vigorous diving activities with a rebreather, but you can use this watch for swimming. Though the watch is water resistant, leather, a natural porous material, never is. So ensure the watch is on a water resistant band before water exposure. It's also important to remember that you can help avoid accidental drowning. Don't pull the crown out, don't wind the crown, use none of its functions, and set nothing. Not just while the watch is submerged, but even while there's water on the case, as attempting to use the crown can bypass the seals and introduce water to the interior of the watch. It is important to remember that water resistance is not a static feature of a watch, and it will decrease with time. So on an annual basis, Grand Seiko recommends you take your watch to a Grand Seiko dealer where specialized equipment is available to quickly and easily dry water test your watch to ensure that it still maintains functional hermeticity. Magnetism can be a threat to a watch, and because spring drive uses a complicated set of electromechanical interactions, it's important to keep your watch remote from powerful magnets such as the static magnets in speakers and subwoofers, and even the speakers built into your laptop. Keep your watch remote from electromagnets such as those you'll find in high-powered wiring looms, personal devices, or medical MRI. Concussion and shock can pose quite a good deal of threat to your watch. First, because they can cause it to run with imprecision, but also because they can cause physical damage, including the discharge of seals, cracking of sapphires, discharge of sapphires altogether, or the stoppage of the movement. Therefore, Grand Seiko recommends that you disuse the watch during concussive activities such as batting, tennis, golf, firearms marksmanship, or the riding of ATVs and mountain bikes. Ultimately, per Grand Seiko, every fine timepiece does require a periodic comprehensive service, roughly every 3 years. It's good to have the entire condition of your watch, the holistic condition, water resistance, strap, aesthetics, and chronometric precision and health, tested during your annual water test, just to be sure. Should this be necessary, should you require a comprehensive service, do so solely with Grand Seiko authorized service centers or the factory itself, as these agencies solely have the trained personnel, specialized Grand Seiko replacement parts, and tools to maintain the value of your timepiece as both an instrument and as an investment. Moreover, only these agencies can back all labor and parts invested with a Grand Seiko factory service warranty. Finally, visit our website at govbergwatches.com and call, text, or email our experts who will be happy to walk you through every phase of the usage and care of this or any Grand Seiko timepiece.